It is wedding week here on the news at 11 a.m. and today we are taking a look at the latest and greatest in wedding cakes.
There's some gorgeous ones. Now the traditional wedding cake, not so traditional anymore because there's lots to choose from and they are works of art. We have some here. And joining us today is Toni Cox of Toni and Marie Sweets and Savories. You're located in downtown Hinsdale. Right. And I know about this because Sylvia has brought things that I have tasted before.
Exactly.
They're so gorgeous sometimes it's hard to eat them because they're so beautiful.
Thank you. Let's start with what you have here at the end because this is the one we are most amazed at. This is a beautiful cake, but I hope we can give it justice. Take a look at these roses here. What have you done?
Those are sugar paste roses. So it's all made out of sugar.
Wow.
And that's a fabric drape, which is a fondant. And
that's all sugar.
Exactly.
It's amazing. So all of this is sugar.
Right.
Okay, now, even though this is special and different, you brought some really interesting things before. It was, we were saying, the traditional wedding cake really isn't so traditional anymore. What's going on here? Tell us a little bit about what you have on the table.
People are getting away from the straight white cake, and they're bringing color into their weddings and into the cake. So this particular cake, it would maybe reflect the sash on the bride's dress or the colors of the bridesmaids' dresses. People really like to coordinate their weddings, and they're using the colors from the wedding party and incorporating in the cakes.
This one.
This blue, I hope everybody's TV does justice to this blue because it's gorgeous. Because people don't feel, and even for a first wedding, they don't feel like we have to have a white cake,
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. And this is a very popular color in fashion and interior design right now. So you might see a bridesmaid's dress in these colors.
And you have the initial there.
Right.
I love that.
Monograms are very popular right now, and they can be used as a sign element on a cake, or they could be as a favor, like the cookies here.
Pick one of these up. Beautiful.
And it's nice to coordinate the favors with your cake.
Sure. Because I noticed you have a lot of these little cookies here. Are these favors, things that are left on the table?
Right. It could be favors. Sometimes they're part of a sweet table. These cookies over here might be a nice part of a sweet table.
What about talking about this would be somebody's individual cake, or they can take it home as a favor?
Right, exactly. It could be the dessert, so each guest would get one of these cakes.
So instead of seeing this big cake, then each guest would have their own?
Right.
Or do you do that in addition too? Is it just
sometimes there'll be a cake, the smaller cake for the bride and groom that'll be on their table or near their table, and then there'll be individual cakes for each guest. And sometimes it'll be a favor for couples, so they might have one of these for each couple.
Wow, that's pretty. Okay, now what about this one?
White.
Look at that. Yeah.
This is more your traditional white, but it's a more contemporary design. And these are nice to do a small cake like this as a centerpiece for the dining room tables or the dining tables. You could have your florist do a nice little arrangement underneath and then have the cake as the centerpiece.
Because this is so gorgeous. It's not so much you put the little bride and groom on top anymore, right? You want to do something
exactly.
Like this.
I very seldom have people want to put a bride and groom on top of the
really?
cake.
Those definitely gotten away. Oh my gosh.
What about inside?
The flavors in the cakes can vary a lot. Our most popular is our white chocolate mousse,
which is my favorite. I want to let everyone know if you've never had it, it is to die for.
So good.
But we've done tiramisu as a filling. We've done cheesecake as a filling. So you definitely can incorporate your own tastes and get a little bit different with the inside as well as the outside.
When you do this and you use colors, does it cost any more than getting the white cake?
It does add to the cost. There's definitely have to work with your budget. If the fondant cakes are a lot more work, there's a lot more detail, so that would be on the higher end. If you're interested in staying in a budget, you might consider a buttercream cake, and there's lots to do with buttercream. You can do similar things. There's just slight differences. So that's a good option.
Okay, so finally, you kind of mentioned these, but let's take a last look here at the cookies and then the little three-tier tray you have over there.
These little cute pink things. The entire program. Tell us about those.
These are petit fours, and we have sugared rose petals on top of them.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually a rose water petit four, so it's flavored with a touch of rose water.
Okay, that's great.
And
that could be a centerpiece or just throughout?
Or part of the sweet table. Sweet tables are real popular now too. And sometimes people will incorporate the wedding cake on the sweet table, so you'll see the wedding cake and then you'll see a nice selection of pastries and cookies.
You haven't been to a wedding in a long time. I did not know all of this. No more bride and grooms on top.
Right. I thought people still did that and they would save that. But no, they still have this and they can still save the top layer,
Exactly.
right? In different colors.
And to find a good baker and not try to spend too much, I mean, you can usually work with what people are looking for to try to fit within their budget.
There's all different budgets, and it's good to bring up pictures of cakes that you've seen in a magazine or a book to start with, or bring a picture of your wedding dress if you're interested in working with those details.
Very nice. Thanks,
All right,
Toni.
Toni, thanks for coming in. If you'd like more information about all of these wedding cake ideas, go to our website. It's posted there at abc7chicago.com.
And Toni brought in a white chocolate mousse cake, didn't you, Toni?
That's right. And if you want to see more, I'm going to be at Marriott in Burr Ridge for the
this weekend.
That's right, for the bridal tea.
Okay, and we have more on that on our website too. Thanks, Toni. Good to see you.